First of all, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all of your incredible support. My name is Cubby, and I work here at Charity Water on our community team. And so I get to spend a lot of time hanging out with cool kids like you guys and people all around the world that support Charity Water. I've also had the opportunity to spend a little bit of time in different countries with some of the people that we've been able to help support. I got to spend some time in India, and I got to spend some time in Uganda, and I'm happy to share more about those experiences with you. But I'm super excited because I think you guys are super cool. I've been hearing a little bit about what you guys are up to, and helping to help bring clean drinking water to people in need. And everybody here at Charity Water just wants to say thank you so much for all of your incredible support, because we really couldn't do it without awesome kids like you guys. So first of all, I just want to say thank you. I'm coming to you live from New York City, which is where our office is. And we've been here for about 8 years now. But originally, I grew up in a really small town south of Seattle, Washington, out in the Pacific Northwest. And about 2 years ago, moved out here to New York to be on the team here at Charity Water. And it's been a super fun and exciting journey. And I actually started, I learned about Charity Water back in 2009. And I learned about the water crisis and how there's 748 million people in the world without access to clean water. And just like you guys, I thought that wasn't okay. And so I wanted to do something about it, just like you guys are doing something about it. And so I decided to do a couple of really fun campaigns. The first of which is I decided to pledge my birthday for clean water. So instead of asking for gifts for my 25th birthday, I asked people to donate $25 for my 25th birthday. And then I decided to do another campaign, which was kind of fun. And I'll send you guys over the video because I think you guys will get a real kick out of it. But I decided to do a campaign because I used to have a really massive beard. And so I decided to do a campaign where people could either donate to Charity Water to save my beard or donate to Charity Water to shave my beard. And whatever campaign raised the most money for clean water would determine whether or not I saved or shaved my face. And so I'm going to let the video show you guys a little bit later. You guys can check it out. How that campaign turned out. But all that to say, I started getting involved with Charity Water just like you guys. I heard about the issue and I decided that I wanted to be a part of making a difference. And so it's been really exciting to be a part of the team and all that we do here at Charity Water. I'd love to answer some of your questions. I got to look over a few of them, and so in the past 8 years, Charity Water started about 8 years ago. We've been able to help over 5.2 million people get access to clean water for the very first time, which is crazy. That's a lot of people. 5.2 million people that didn't have access to clean water now have access to clean water because of awesome groups of students just like you guys. And those people are served clean water through a variety of different solutions, different types of water projects. We currently have water projects in 24 different countries, and we work through 25 different local partners to do all of our implementation. There's a little over 16,000 water projects that serve those 5.2 million people, and there have been about 700,000 people that have been a part of making that possible. So I think that answered a couple of your guys' questions as I was scrolling through. But I would love to just open it up if you guys have any questions for me or about what we do at Charity Water, or even maybe want to share a little bit about what you guys are working on. I know that you guys are working on some PSA things and some video stuff and some other cool projects you guys are doing that I would love to hear more about.
Devin, would you like to tell them what we're doing on Thursday? Do I stand up in front of the camera?
On Thursday, we're doing a walkathon called Lap It Up. That's raising money for you guys at Charity Water. and we earn pledges, or we could just do a set amount. And we're also selling T-shirts to raise money for you.
Oh, that's so cool. That's amazing. That's awesome. Are you guys doing like where people pledge every time you take a lap?
Yes. And set amounts and T-shirts.
That's so cool. Oh my goodness, you guys will have to take lots of photos and videos. We would love to see those.
Absolutely. Thanks, Devin.
Yeah, great job.
Anybody have any questions? Go ahead, Taylor. Sorry, she's coming up.
Okay, great.
One of my questions was, does it warm your heart whenever you found out that the first well was built?
It does. It does warm my heart a lot. You know, like I mentioned, I got to spend some time in both India and Uganda. And while being there, I got to meet a lot of really amazing people that, it's just incredible to see the impact that water has in their life. And I have a niece and a nephew that live back in Seattle that are 11 and 9 years old. And seeing kids just like you guys, about the same age, and kids in Uganda and India that are the same age as my niece and nephew, and seeing the impact that water has in their lives, it warms my heart knowing that those families don't have to walk for dirty water anymore, but they can have clean water right in their village. And their kids, just like my niece and nephew, and kids just like your age, don't have to be sick, but they can actually go to school and live healthy, happy lives. So, absolutely.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you. Great question.
Spencer, go ahead, please.
What are people's usual first reaction when they first learn that they can have clean water right in their village instead of having to walk and get dirty water?
Yeah, that's a great question. The reaction of the people in these communities that are getting clean water is it's astounding. It's a big party and a big celebration whenever there's an opening of a water project. Because for these communities, the opportunity and that clean water brings to the villages where, you know, like I said, kids can spend more time in school and less time being sick. You know, when I was in India, we had the opportunity to meet some really amazing women that no longer have to walk for hours every single day, but now they take that time that they used to spend walking, and they've started their own businesses. And so for these people, it's a huge celebration because they no longer, you know, they no longer have to drink that dirty water, but, you know, for them, this means a whole new life and a whole new opportunity for them that they never had before. And so, so it's a huge celebration. It's super fun. Great question.
Colby, go ahead.
How do you pick for which village to help first and last?
That's a really great question. How do you determine whose village, you know, gets clean water first and whose village, you know, gets clean water second and third? So the way that Charity Water works is we work through local partners to do all of our implementation. So we work really closely with them to build strategy around where the communities that are going to be getting clean water are. So we'll look at a variety of different things. We'll look at, you know, how far people have to walk currently to get their water. You know, maybe, you know, one community only has to walk, you know, 30 minutes to get, you know, their water, or maybe another community has to walk 8 hours to get their water. So, you know, we try to look at the communities and the villages that have those, you know, extra time that they walk for water, or the water is more scarce in different regions. So we try to bring water to where there's the most need in those types of situations. And so, and we also try to be really strategic around when we're building these water projects. So in like places like Ethiopia, where the ground is really hard, we have to bring in these $1 million drilling rigs and drill way down into the ground into these huge aquifers, these big lakes that live underground, and tap into that clean water source. So when we're bringing in these rigs, we try to be strategic about drilling these water projects in tight regions. And so, so instead of driving to one region and building water projects and drilling one there, and then driving all the way over here to build another one, we try to find different communities in that same area that need clean water as well, so that we can make the most use of that tiny resource of using that drilling rig. And so, yeah, that's a great question. Thanks, bud.
Ashby.
Do you think it's fair that just women walk the water?
That's a great question. In a lot of these communities that we work in, and in different parts of the world, that is often the role of women and children in these communities, and it's very different than the world that we live in, where women have equal opportunity and rights, but yeah, it is really interesting coming from a world that we live in where women have that shared opportunity. But what's really exciting about the opportunity that clean water brings into these communities is it restores a lot of opportunity to these women. And so, like I mentioned before, those women that we got to meet in India, with all of the extra time that they used to spend walking for water, they now started their own businesses, and so they now have the opportunity to earn a second income for their family, which kind of transforms that way of thinking and that idea in these communities. That women have these amazing opportunities to be leaders in their communities and to start their own businesses and do some pretty powerful and cool things. So. It's pretty cool to see the impact that water has, even in that side of things. So that's a great question. Thank you.
Collier.
How was the organization Sharing Water created?
Ooh, that's a really great question. Actually, our founder, his name is Scott. He lives here in New York City, and he used to promote a lot of nightclubs, and he really wanted to give back. He felt like he was taking a lot from the world, and he wanted the opportunity to invest back into the world. And so he decided to apply to volunteer for a bunch of different nonprofits. And all of them turned him down. They were like, what are we going to do with somebody who promotes parties in New York City? Like, what are we going to do with that? And he had one organization that called Mercy Ship. And they are a big hospital boat that travels around different places like in Africa, and it's a big hospital ship where they'll bring patients from different regions and parts of Africa onto this hospital ship. Patients that have big tumors on their faces and cleft lips and need to have surgery, need to have medical attention. And so he had the opportunity to volunteer on this big hospital ship, and through that experience was exposed to the fact that people were drinking dirty water. He had no idea that there were millions and millions of people, hundreds of millions of people, that were forced to drink dirty water every day because they had no other choice. They had no solution. So he's like, no wonder people have things growing on their faces and have to have these life-transforming surgeries. Look at the water that they're drinking. So he decided to come back to New York City and invite everybody that he knew, all of his friends and people that would attend all of the events that he would promote, and ask them to come out. And he asked people to donate $32 for his 32nd birthday. And bring 100% of that money to build projects in Uganda. And he took 100% of that money, built about 6 projects in Uganda, and helped hundreds and hundreds of people. Took photos and GPS coordinates of those projects and sent it back to everybody that attended the party. And he had people that emailed him and was like, this is amazing. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this. Like, keep up the great work. And through that, other people were inspired. They were, people like me, and people like Max, and thousands of other people that have decided to pledge their birthday and say, you know, I don't